1580, we've got your black.
And if I share with you my story, would you share your shadow with me? Time to get it.
Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
KKK, G's up, little scrap. I got money, be a me, money in the bank.
I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shout out what you drink.
I'ma get that dough and with them. Young ladies that know me know strap is a pro.
Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesdays, where we center Black, women, and BIPOC-owned businesses, highlight opportunities and initiatives for underrepresented entrepreneurs, and center socially innovative enterprises, building generational prosperity, fostering real networking, and recycling Black dollars. It's Wealth Building Wednesdays on KBLA Talk 1580.
It is indeed, and it's an exciting Wealth Building Wednesday at that. The studio is full, and we have somebody on the phone, so that's a blessing around here. Wealth Building Wednesday, we spotlight Black-owned, BIPOC-owned, small businesses, socially innovative businesses, and the like. And today's folks are kind of a lot of all of those things. Women-owned, Black-owned, socially innovative, locally generated, and all of the above. So welcoming into the studio right now, Sonny James. He's artist relations and creative teams in Los Angeles with the award-winning DJ software company called Serato. He's a writer, a DJ, producer, videographer, and an on-screen personality. Also co-founder of Philadelphia's most prolific, well-respected DJ production crew, Ill Vibe Collective. Sonny James, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's
Thanks
good to
for
be here.
coming in. You guys, not only did you show up, you look wide awake. And there's a lot more to this bio. We could stay on that all day. But you're currently Chief Operations Manager of the Ill Vibe Media record label. Tell me a little about that.
So Ill Vibe is a DJ / production crew that we started in Philadelphia around 98 or 99 or so. And it's just me and 5 of my partners who, we would go to a bunch of like hip hop events in Philly, and we would always wonder how could we get a chance to like get on to perform, because we were young, and Philadelphia has so many prolific artists like Jazzy Jeff and Rich Medina and Questlove, and the list goes on. So if you weren't one of those guys, it was like, how are you going to get in the mix? So then we just kind of started our own, events, and through that we kind of branched out into the hip hop community in Philly, and we made a lot of relationships, and we started throwing events, and that eventually led to us starting our own label.
It's funny because, I guess, I'm definitely not as in touch with the music scene as I used to be. But it seems like a record label is almost an outdated idea.
in some ways it is, because at the end of the day, we all have like our access to different outlets for distribution and, streaming and whatnot. So, our concept of a label is just to provide an avenue for people to be heard by people that they wouldn't have been heard by.
So you yourself, you're part of the record label. You're also part of this software company.
Yep. So for the past 8 years or so, I've lived in LA, and I've been working for Serato, which is a great opportunity as a DJ coming up, because, Serato's one of the most world-changing pieces of software to exist. And sorry. And to kind of be the face of it and to be able to shoot all the educational content that goes along with that is it's quite a privilege. So I don't take it lightly.
Everybody lives in LA. That's my theory. They all pretend that they're from somewhere, but they all live here. Okay. So we have another guest joining us on the phone. Are you there? Hello?
Hey, yes, I'm here.
Okay,
How's
all right.
everyone doing?
Good. Who is this?
This is Paris. I'm Paris McCoy, and I'm the executive director of Tec Leimert.
And well familiar with Tec Leimert. We're broadcasting from Leimert. And your bio says you're a multifaceted professional, effortlessly transforming intricate ideas into visually compelling narratives. But for those of us who aren't good at understanding what that means, you're a cinematographer, you're a business strategist, you're a creative producer, and you're over Tec Leimert. I'm well familiar. I, spend a lot of time in Leimert, but explain to people what Tec Leimert is.
So Tec Leimert is actually an acronym for Technology Entertainment Convergence, and we are a nonprofit founded and based in Tec Leimert, Crenshaw Corridor, and we service all of South Central Los Angeles, really. And we focus on workforce development for careers in the tech and the entertainment spaces.
I mean, Tec Leimert, for a lot of us who stay over here, is known for these rather elaborate conferences, panel discussions. Well, I say elaborate because it's always going to be interactive. There's going to be some kind of screen things and gadgets going on, and there's going to be folks from the industry, both entertainment and the tech world, that we don't typically see hanging out in Leimert Park.
Yes.
So tell me about that. Yeah.
Our conference, I get so excited about our conference. It's called Black to the Future, and we've been doing it for, I think this year was our 5th year. Barring the pandemic, we didn't activate in 2020, but it's really, you had a great description. It's really a place where we bring technologists, creative technologists, people in the entertainment industry to just really come and convene in Leimert Park on Degnan Boulevard proper and just have a conversation about, technology, entertainment, Black, brown people in these spaces. And, just really talk about careers, where people are going with their creative in these spaces, et cetera. So it's a really monumental event, and it's really, really, really good. It's really, really great. It's been really good for the community. People look forward to it every year, and we just had it in September, and it was really amazing. We activate with all of our different verticals. So we have music technology, we have game development, we have digital marketing. We have all these workshops and programs that focus on, again, how technology is affecting creative careers in the creative industry and entertainment industry. And so we have some heavy hitters that come to, like I said, Leimert Park, and have panels, activations, and really just look at how Black folks are affecting creativity and tech.
Right. So Paris McCoy, a lot of people don't realize that Tec Leimert is working all year long. It's not only during the Black to the Future conference. It's an organization that trains young people and does all these other kinds of things.
Oh, for sure. That's just our flagship event. But we're working all year round, just like you said. And so we have these workforce development programs and training programs where we upskill people in these careers in technology and entertainment. So music technology is one of our main programs that we launched last year with Serato. And it was an amazing launch, an amazing year. And we had, I think we brought about, I want to say 80 music creatives and music technologists from the South Central area to train and to learn about the software that Serato is producing and working on. And it was really just amazing to see all of these artists and these creatives come in to this space. Serato opened up its doors and to really they were able to learn. It was a safe space for them to learn about this technology.
Yeah, and we'll go a little bit deeper into that. Typically, Wealth Building Wednesday is one person. Today we have three, so there's a whole lot going on. But I'm happy to welcome in a native LA-based MC, a writer representing the IE. And she's worked with people like Patrice Rushen, Moby, Kendrick Lamar, Dr. Dre, Logic, Terrace Martin, and many, many more. Ill Camille, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to meet you in person.
Nice meeting you too. I see you got your Serato shirt on over here representing.
Oh yeah, I gotta
like
keep it
it.
official.
But before we jump into that, talk a little bit about you.
Sure. My name is Ill Camille. I am an MC, definitely beat maker and producer, just all around creative. I'm a part of Tec Leimert as their music director for the music education technology program. I'm partners with Sonny right here in Paris and a team of people for what we created called the Audio Effect. Our beat production, music incubation program that we started. And I'm just happy to be a part of the program, Tec Leimert, and just the community, just based on the way that we all bring all of these things together. So I'm a representation of that.
I mean, I know you're representing the IE.
I represent LA
and
too.
also Tec Leimert. You
Yeah.
got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
But Leimert actually does have a pretty storied history of supporting MCs,
does.
wherever they might be from.
It does. I'm from here. I moved to the IE for about 3 years, but I
gotcha.
just noticed that the community was the same. There was still a deep love for music and building and collaboration. Like it didn't stop when I moved, so I had to come back, and keep it going. I got my first show in Leimert, and then my second show in the IE. So I always try to bridge those communities together because it's all the same.
Yeah.
We all got that love, and we need to build together. So I rep both all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
How's life as an MC these days?
Woo! Life as an MC is fun. It's challenging. I'm a 40-year-old woman, so this era of me being an MC is different from when I first started. Content-wise, subject matter, everything going on in the world, it's pushing my pen differently. Being more confident about owning the fact that I like producing and sound design and all the other aspects of music is making my lyricism better. So I'm in a good state. I'm looking to do more projects. So
Yeah. How can we hear you, see you?
you can actually find me on all the streaming platforms. I prefer if y'all buy the physicals. So
Yeah.
hit up Fat Beats, go to Amoeba, try to find the physical product, but you can find me on all the streaming platforms for sure. And I'm even in Web3.
Okay. All right. So we are going to tie all this together because it is a wealth building Wednesday, and I think the connective tissue is Tec Leimert, but Serato, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that, Sonny.
So part of what we do at Serato is we, I'm in artist relations, so I'm the artist relations manager for the West Coast, and what that means
How's
is
he doing, Neil Camille?
Man, Sonny's the best.
all right, just checking. So we only have one artist in the conversation.
He's the best. Sonny's the best.
You over artist relations. Okay,
Yeah.
Sonny's doing
Sonny
good. Okay,
holds
go
it
ahead.
down.
Yeah, so part of so part of that is just dealing one-on-one with a lot of our artists who not only are DJs but also work in the area of production. We have we're mostly known for our DJ software, but we also have several production products. One of which is Pitch in Time, which came out in '99, so it's our 25th anniversary right now. We also have a product called Serato Sample that's used industry-wide by many of the big dogs, Timbaland, Disclosure, you name it, RZA, everyone uses Serato Sample. And what it is it's a plugin that you use inside of other digital audio workstations. So like if you use Machine or Logic or Ableton, any of those programs, Serato Sample is a plugin that works very simply inside it's a plugin that works inside the program, and how it works is you put a piece of audio in it, and then you can easily like chop up and rearrange and time stretch and even stem out pieces of the audio. So if you put in your favorite song, you can actually remove the vocals or you can isolate them. You can remove the drums or isolate those. So it gives you a lot of options in terms of what you can do, to create new productions.
Surgery for samples.
That's right. That's right.
And then the DJ software, for those of us who aren't DJs, I mean, what is that?
That's a great question. So the DJ software, it basically allows you to access your music library via your computer, and then via time-coded records, you can actually play the MP3s from the computer using the records. So you would DJ like you normally would.
Sorry, you lost me. I was doing good until you got up to the playing time-coded MP3s as records.
Yeah. So
if they're not round and vinyl, I can't.
Right. So they are actually round vinyl records.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
they look exactly like any other records that you would use, except they have a piece of time code on it that actually talks to your computer.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So then
got me back.
Okay. So me and you could record a song right now and then have it in our computer, and then we could actually manipulate it using the vinyl, and it would just work the same way vinyl records do.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can also, use that same technology with CDJs and various DJ controllers and whatnot. So it's been a groundbreaking, piece of software that has existed for 20 years now. And, and it's used globally. So pretty much anytime you see a computer on a stage with a DJ, they're usually running Serato.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a failed DJ. I only tried for about 2 hours. What do you want to add, Paris? We're way over time, but I'm not surprised because we got 3 interesting folks in the studio. That's what happens. Paris, what do you want to add to this conversation? I'm trying to make sure folks are tying this together. So we're in a Wealth Building Wednesday. We're talking about Serato as a company. We're talking about Tec Leimert as an organization, and we're always supporting the artist, Ill Camille.
Yes.
I think that the tie-in is very, very natural. Leimert, Crenshaw Corridor, South Central is just a beacon and a hub for music. We have a rich musical history in this area, and we all grew up in this area. And so it was very natural that Tec Leimert would start and launch a program in music technology. It wasn't far off. It wasn't a stretch. And so, Ill Camille has been in the community and doing things and buzzing around, and she's been knowledgeable about Tec Leimert as well before we moved to this venture. And so, Camille and I, we have a love for music, a love for vinyl, and so it just was a very natural, organic connection. There's a lot of our community members who work in the music space, and they want to upskill. They want to learn more. They want to advance in the music space and use the tools that Serato, for example, have developed and made available to them through this program to upskill and really take autonomy over their creative. So It was just it was a very natural, organic mashup.
I can already tell we're not going to make this break. So let's, we'll just extend a little bit. We'll jump to our national issues after news, traffic, and sports, but we'll continue this conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
With reported hate crimes rising in recent years, California has responded through outreach efforts across state government and in collaboration with community-based organizations for the launch of CA versus Hate. This non-emergency, multilingual hate crime and incident reporting hotline provides an anonymous reporting option for victims and witnesses of hate acts reported in 15 different languages through the online portal and in over 200 languages when calling the hotline. Report anonymously by calling 833-866-4283, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or online at any time at cavshate.org.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
On First Things First, just extending out our Wealth Building Wednesday segment a little bit here today so folks can land, because we got a lot of things going on at once. Sonny James is here. He's with Ill Vibe Media Records and also Serato. Paris McCoy is on the phone with Tec Leimert. She's running Tec Leimert these days. And Ill Camille, the artist, is in the studio, part of Tec Leimert, also part of Serato. And so, let's tie all this together. You guys have a workshop coming up?
That's right. So we did in the past year, we did a series of workshops called the Audio Effects Series, and it was brought to LA by Serato, undefeated, as well as Tec Leimert. So I don't know if you want to talk more about it, Camille.
Sure. We put our heads together and came up with a beat production workshop. What was it? 4 workshops.
Yep.
4 workshops started in Black History Month, just to cement the fact that we were trying to, highlight and amplify Black and brown musicians in the neighborhood. So we started in February, held courses about learning beat making technique through using Serato's products. And we invited some of the most incredible, artists to come in and be our guest instructors. So shout out to Lyric Jones, Georgia Ann Muldrow, Iman Omari, DiBiase, and DJ Dahi, because they really held it down. And the curriculum would vary a little bit based on who was teaching. So, everybody has their own style, but we learned standard beat making techniques through the software, using the STEM technology too, how to break down records and really get into the parts, right? Chopping up, all of that. But then we just talked and built as, community members, creative members, like, what do you do with this? How do you get your first placement? How do you start doing your first beat sets? How do you feel comfortable to send your music out? Those discussions that probably wouldn't be held in, public, or some people just don't feel confident to have them. And sometimes, it's not a safe space for you to do that. So Serato gave us the opportunity to hold space and fellowship inside of, the headquarters, and then learn. And we did it for a couple hours. Every workshop was jam-packed. And then we ended up, we culminate everything with the conference. So 4 workshops, Boom Conference.
Okay. And then a project on vinyl comes out of that?
Yeah. So we chose producers who submitted beats from the program, right? We wanted to create a situation where these producers would actually see their music, hear their music in physical format and in digital format, both. We definitely advocate for both. So we did a short run, right? 50 lathe cut vinyl, pretty cool. Did a whole release, an album release at Undefeated. It was a great situation.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're up against the clock here. So tell us, I don't know, maybe we'll put Paris McCoy in charge of that. I want to know how folks can connect with Serato, with Ill Camille, and Ill Vibe Media on socials or websites or whatever we're doing.
So you can follow myself at Mr. Sonny James. I'm always accessible. You can also follow
SONN.
Oh, SONNYJAMES. And you can also follow Serato on all social media, SERATO, as well as Serato.com.
And Tec Leimert, Paris?
Yep, and you can follow Tec Leimert on all socials at Tec Leimert, and then also on our website, techleimert.org, and we have all information about the audio effect and all the other programs that we produce on our socials and our web.
No more tech yourself.
Yes, tech yourself.
Yes.
Tech yourself.
That's the one I remember.
Shout out to that. Rashidi, shout out to you.
So thank you guys for the work that you're doing and for, keeping it in our horizons. At Mr. Sonny James, at Serato.com. And Ill Camille?
Yes, ma'am. At Ill Camille, ILLCAMILLE on Twitter, Instagram, and all the music platforms. Find me, listen to me, tell me what you think.
Following you now. Thank you for fostering our creativity on this fine Wednesday morning, and keep on doing that wealth building.
Will do.
News, traffic, and sports. Then it's the perfect time to call me. We're going to talk about all these election goings on next on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The Small Business Administration is out of money for its disaster loan program after Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The agency said Tuesday it's pausing new low-interest loan offers unless Congress allocates more funding. More than 90 people are still unaccounted for in western North Carolina as the cleanup from Helene continues. FEMA says it will not be deterred by misinformation and will continue to help those impacted by Helene. The USDA's Inspector General is planning an internal investigation into the agency's response to a listeria outbreak at a Boar's Head plant in Virginia. Production was shut down last month after at least 10 people died after eating products made at the plant. And Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers want to know the names of his accusers. His defense asked the judge last week to require the prosecution to turn over the identities of all of the alleged victims so Combs can defend himself effectively. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are back on the field tonight against the Mets in the National League Championship Series. Game 3 in the best-of-7 jumps off at 5 o'clock. The next 3 games are in New York. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said he is not moving Shohei Ohtani in the batting order to give him more chances to bat with runners on base. Roberts is keeping Ohtani in the leadoff position. Here's something to keep on your radar if Ohtani continues to struggle in the playoffs. Ohtani is 0 for 19 at the plate with the bases empty. He's 6 for 8 with men on base. Stay tuned on this situation. Interesting development in the Lakers preseason game Tuesday night against Golden State in Vegas. Most of the crowd of 16,000 stood up and cheered when Bronny James entered the game with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Bronny finished the game but had only 2 points. He was 1 for 5 and missed all 3 of his 3-point shots. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
With reported hate crimes rising in recent years, California has responded through outreach efforts across state government and in collaboration with community-based organizations for the launch of CA versus Hate. This non-emergency, multilingual hate crime and incident reporting hotline provides an anonymous reporting option for victims and witnesses of hate acts reported in 15 different languages through the online portal and in over 200 languages when calling the hotline. Report anonymously by calling 833-866-4283, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or online at any time at cavshate.org. Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has work source centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
All right. We're about to freestyle it, so that means it's the perfect time to call me. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I see love in the chat for our Wealth Building Wednesday. Ronald Malone says, I feel you, Dominique DiPrima. I'm from the old school DJ era. Salute to all my DJs worldwide on the Serato computers and everything. And Urban Birds and Bees says Serato works just like Microsoft, is compatible for all computers and programs. Well, stick around this show for a little bit. You never know what might come up, what we learn about. Miles over here going, yeah, everybody knows about Serato. But yeah, probably in your line of work, not so much in mine. No, Morris Phillips, you did not miss Dr. Horn's interview. That's coming up next hour. Right now is the perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That is the number to call. You remember Elon Musk said he was going to give out free Wi-Fi for the victims of Hurricane Helene. And now it turns out there's all kinds of hidden charges. They had some big installation fee and some kinds of other fees. So now folks are really upset with Mr. Musk. But it makes sense that he would be teaming up with Trump. He just dumped $75 million into something called America PAC, which is his own political action committee, to help elect Trump. And now it's making sense. And that's why I started with the Hurricane Helene Musk news, because to me it's like you're grifters. You were made for each other. One is selling Bibles and shiny gold shoes. Bibles, a book he's clearly never read. Shiny gold shoes. You can buy a Trump watch. You can buy a piece of his coat. And the other one is selling, telling people he's giving them free things that he's not giving them, that have hidden charges. Plus, does this big rollout of the Robovan, or Robovan, if reading is fundamental. He wants you to call it Robovan. and once again declaring that he's conquered the self-navigating car, the autonomous vehicle, except it ain't. And here's the thing that trips me out about Rabovon and autonomous vehicles is that Elon Musk has been promising autonomous vehicles, I think, since like 2016. And the media keeps reporting on it like he's doing it, but he hasn't done it yet. How do you make it make sense? How can you hold these big, fancy rollout events for things every year that never seem to pan out, and everyone keeps breathlessly reporting on it like you're actually doing it? I've been reading about this, in tech journals, and I probably should have asked Paris from Tec Leimert, but it's not working yet. So let's stop breathlessly reporting on it like it's there. Elon Musk Tesla has unveiled the Cybercab, a fully self-driving vehicle with no driver, pedals, or steering wheel, showcasing the future, except it's just a preview. Yeah, so it's the grifter's ticket, and I think that in that sense, it's birds of a feather. $75 million, that's nothing much for him as being one of the richest men in the world. And he's not alone. Miriam Adelson has spent tens of millions to boost Trump just in the past few months. Musk, Adelson, and this guy, Richard Uhlheim, who's a packaging magnate, between the three of them, they've donated $220 million just in the past 3 months to elect Trump. Oh, let's go to Darvell calling us from Anaheim. Good morning, Darvell.
Good morning, Dominique. Blessings to you as well, always.
Thank you. Same to you.
I missed some of the election discussion that you were having with the young lady, I forget her name, that was on giving a different propositions and recommendations. Are you guys going to do a recap of
We are going to be doing it almost every day between now and the last day to vote, which is November 5th. We have got you, Darvell. Not to mention anything you missed, they're all up on YouTube. The KBLA 1580 YouTube, and I labeled them myself so you can find out which proposition that you're looking for. But trust, I need it myself. So we're going to be going over them more, mostly in the first hour of the show, but also, all the time, because I think we have to.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Is there anything in particular that you're struggling with that you want to talk about right now, or you're just having general anxiety about the ballot?
It's pretty much anxiety, but however, I'm Prop 33 because I heard you guys do a definite no on 36, definite yes on A, but 33 and 34 are the ones that I'm.
Okay, so for me, 33 is a yes. 33 has so many ads running right now. And if I just watch the ads, I think I would vote no. But I'm voting yes because I don't just watch the ads. So to make it simple, because it kind of is simple, even though the ads make it seem really complicated, what Proposition 33 does is it repeals this old law called Costa-Hawkins, which was passed in 1995. And what Costa-Hawkins did is it made it illegal to put any kind of rent control on any newer building. Anything newer than 1995 could not be rent controlled in the state of California. And so that means the only buildings, apartments that can have any kind of rent control at all in California are older than 1995. Doesn't seem fair. So when we get rid of Costa-Hawkins, by voting yes on 33, we will allow individual counties and cities to make their own rules about rent control. That's all 33 does. It doesn't impose rent control. It doesn't create new rules. All it does is take away a law from 1995 that stops cities and counties from having the ability to make their own rules, especially around newer buildings.
Oh, so thank you so much. That clears up a lot. So we just need to stop looking at the daggone ads and listen to Dominique's show every day.
I like that solution. I filter through a lot of different articles and also people's recommendations. I like Courage California. It's a progressive group. They have a progressive voter guide. I like Knock LA. I look at Maxine Waters. I look at what Karen Bass recommends. I like to look at the LA County Democratic Party, although I don't agree with them on everything. And I look at the LAGOP.com. LACDP.org is the Democratic one, and LAGOP.com is the Republicans. I filter through all that stuff, and then I use my own head because I feel like that's why God gave us each our own, so we can use it to make our own decisions. But I try to do that in a comprehensive way.
And one last question.
Yes,
you
sir.
said Knock LA. Is that NOC or
It's KNOC-LA.com or .org. I'm not sure. It's a publication that comes out of this organization called Ground Game. Ground Game is an organization that supports progressive candidates. And Knock LA is, they publish articles and different things, and then every election season they have a voter guide. So I like theirs, tends to be more progressive. I will look at the LA Times. If you want the conservative side, you can go to the Daily News. Perfect example, LA Times is supporting Prop 34. LA Times is against Prop 36. And the Daily News is 436. So it gives you an example of how one could be more conservative than the other, but you'll get the arguments for and against.
Right, and then I know I usually follow Auntie Maxine's recommendation. Yes. When does that usually come out?
You know what? I'm not sure. It varies, but I like to look at it. I compare it, along with others. Mm-hmm. She doesn't make recommendations on everything. And also, for me, I like to be independently minded and have different sources. But I also know that Maxine Waters, I check her website for that. That's where I usually find it. And then they usually put it in my mailbox too. But it's a whole process because sometimes people I really tend to support don't agree with each other, right? And so then what? I think, when you talk about something like 33, the governor's against it. I'm voting yes. I don't agree with the governor on that. You could say he's a progressive, but does that mean I automatically agree with him? No. 34 is also, you mentioned 34 is a no for me, Darvell, and that's because this is the bill they call the revenge bill. They say that it was put on the ballot to get back at the AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Michael Weinstein. But the problem with it is that it further restricts nonprofit organizations from being able to back ballot measures. And I don't think that's a good idea. They already have a lot of restrictions what they can say and do to maintain their nonprofit status. And I don't think that we should be allowing a ballot initiative, one that is backed by the California Apartment Association, to determine what nonprofit organizations can and cannot do with their money. So I'm voting no on 34.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Anything else, Darvell?
No, I think that's it for now.
Okay.
Appreciate you, Queen.
I appreciate you back. Call me anytime. Darvell called 800-920-1580. You can do the same. We are your election information station. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Jeff Davis. I believe my daughter should inherit something. but not the role and responsibility of burying me. That's why I have a pre-need burial insurance plan through Harrison Ross Mortuary. Their plan offers me 4 payment options. 1, pay in advance or pay over 3, 5, or 10-year time periods to keep the payments affordable. Contact the professionals today at Harrison Ross Mortuary. We can be reached at area code 310-704-4901. That's 310-704-4901. And ask for me, Jeff Davis. Thank you.
Black Women for Wellness and Stand LA are standing up against harmful oil drilling in South Los Angeles. Our Bad Neighbors campaign exposes the serious health risks of drilling in our neighborhoods. You've seen the billboards, posters, and coffee sleeves around South LA. Now join the movement to protect our health, our families, and our future.
Visit bwwla.org/no-drilling to learn more and get involved. That's bwwla.org/no-drilling.
And that chill in the air means one thing. It's truck season!
Just 5 more minutes.
No snoozing. You've got so much to do. So do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the HD or class-leading 440-mile range of the Silverado EV.
Wait, what? Are you talking?
Yes! Picture it. Work, play, hauling gear, off-roading. A Chevy truck can take whatever you can throw at it, including tailgating in an actual tailgate!
I mean, homecoming is just around the corner. Oh, and showing up in a new truck?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Get things done and look good doing it.
Okay, I'm up. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Without offering me a ride? That's cold.
It's Chevy truck season. Head to your local Chevy dealer and get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
0% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 9.3%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available at least in some of the offers. Take me retail delivery by 10/31/24.
We must understand the politics of our community, and we must know what part politics play in our lives.
Questions about black voters, their disengagement, lack of information, and support or lack thereof for Democratic candidates have once again taken center stage as Democrats, Republicans, and independent candidates compete for this critical voting bloc. Will black voters abandon Democrats in this election, move historic numbers of votes toward the Republican nominee, or will they continue a decades-long trend of overperforming for Democratic candidates up and down the ballot? The stakes have never been higher for Black America. Tune in to KBLA's new show, The Black Pack, hosted by veteran political strategist Adrian Shropshire, every Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. for a breakdown of the issues, rhetoric, polling, and more this election year. It's The Black Pack with Adrian Shropshire, Fridays from 4 to 6 p.m. exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust new Febreze car vent clips, now with 3 times greater scent control, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with new Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing, which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's take a deep breath in. Yes, because the air quality in the KBLA studio is at a 0, which is perfect. It doesn't get any better than that. Little to no health risk outside. Outside's not that bad today either. It's 108, which means sensitive groups should limit outdoor exertion, but it's not really, really bad. And that is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 from our IQ Air filtration system, which is making our studio much more breather friendly. I love that. Love that so much for us, part of our climate justice initiative here. All right, so 800-920-1580, that's the number Darvell from Anaheim called. I invite you to do the same. Dr. Gerald Horn is joining me next hour, and I know we will be covering a lot of things that I don't have a chance to get to today. Kamala Harris just on an interview tear now. She was on with Charlemagne the God yesterday and supported a study for reparations. And yet some of my MAGA friends still insist on, I should say, some of my reparationist friends still insist on MAGA, which means you're either ops, you're naive, or you are just dyed-in-the-wool Republicans, and that is more important to you than reparations. Trump dissed reparations, calling it a Kamala thing. Vice President Harris yesterday went on Charlemagne the God in front of the whole world and said reparations must be studied. That means in the middle of a campaign, she is willing to support the H.R. 40. No one has ever done that. So if you're a reparationist right now, you need to be casting your vote for Harris. We've never had a candidate say they would support a study for reparations. And I know y'all will be like, well, a lot of people will be like, oh, it's beyond study, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, at the state of California or whatever your state, yes. But a study on reparations on the federal level would still represent a significant piece of progress, okay? Noted. Walter from Tennessee, you have the mic.
Hey, Dominique, how you doing this morning?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How art thou?
Same here, blessed and highly favored. Today we started our first day of early voting here in Tennessee, and it goes from now until Halloween on October 31st.
That's funny. Yeah. So dress up as a voter, right? and go do your doggone civic duty.
Oh, I'm going in about, after I get this phone call, because my early voting site opens here at 10 o'clock Central Time, so that's in about 6 minutes.
Ours started October 7th, but I'm not going till I'm ready. I'm going to need at least another week.
I got you. Well, I'm running for office, so I'm going to get mine out the way. I'm going to be out there campaigning, too, today, jumping around a couple of different voting sites. We got 3 that open today, 2 more that open tomorrow, 2 more that open over the weekend. So I'm going to be out and about hitting these streets, getting these last voters out to the polls.
Good job. And yesterday, Georgia broke records for early voting, which I take as a good sign. More than 300,000 people hit the polls yesterday on their first day of early voting to make their voices heard. I think it's great, especially given all of these weather calamities that we've been having and such, for folks to do it at their earliest convenience.
Most definitely. We had the weather calamity as well out in the eastern part of Tennessee that was part of Hurricane Helene that had damages up in the Tri-City area and along the North Carolina border. So they're still doing recovery efforts up there, and they've been dealing with, they've had FEMA scares both on our side of the state line and on the North Carolina side of the state line. I know our governor was slow to respond and getting in her hurricane declaration, emergency declarations to the federal government, which has delayed the response out there. So, yeah, it's
have you had any conversation around extending registration deadlines? I know that DeSantis chose not to do that for the hurricane.
No, they didn't do it here.
No, okay.
Yeah, that was last week, the 7th. They closed that off, boom. But I will give you some positive news. I've had people anecdotally coming to me in the last week saying, ooh, can we vote? I was outside last night putting out my yard signs by the voting booths, and I had people stop and say, hey, can we vote today? I'm like, nope, come back tomorrow. You can vote tomorrow. So there's definitely energy here in Tennessee, people ready to vote.
I mean, when you see Georgia, 328,000 votes cast in one day, the next closest day was in 2020, and that was 136,000. So not just breaking a record, but more than doubling a record. That is good news. I mean, when more people vote, it's always good news for progressives, for black people.
Definitely. And we're trying to hopefully do the same thing here. We'll see what happens today because the energy is out there. I'm seeing it across the state. Matter of fact, Don Staley was in Memphis yesterday, the coach of the South Carolina women's basketball team. And she was out posting commercials. I saw that showing up on my social media feed, encouraging people to get out and vote. So I'll be interested to see first day numbers here in Tennessee once they start voting today and what we do. But there's definitely energy here. I had a candidate forum on Monday with my opponent. It had other people there as well, too. I kicked this behind. I will use vulgar language, but we're on the radio. So, I had him. I had him agreeing with me at points because one of my points being gun safety, and I said, I'm not trying to come after your guns. I just want you to lock them up, you know, get trigger locks you can get for free from your sheriff's office or a tax-free safe you can buy at the stores. He agreed with me. He's like, you know, I agree with my opponent. I was like, oh, you're agreeing with me? Oh, I got you right now. Then even I threw his record back at him because he tried to really focus about how he put in baby courts to try to help reunite families, essentially kind of like I would say a family court version of like Kamala Harris's Back on Track program. So a diversion program. And I threw it back at him saying, yeah, he tried to say, oh, we got half the families got reunited. I'm like, yo, there's like 70% white people. Matter of fact, in our own county, not one black family qualified for this program. So what are you really talking about here?
Remind me what you're running for, Walter. What are you running for?
State Senate.
State Senate?
I'm running for State Senate in District 18. Yes, ma'am.
How's it looking?
It's looking good. I mean, people don't like him. I've had MAGA Republicans because the Republican Party split around here between the constitutionals, a.k.a. MAGA, versus the establishment Republicans. MAGA doesn't like him. Anybody I talk to does not like him. He only gets away with stuff because he has the R behind his name. But when you talk to anybody, if you mention his name, they do not like this man.
All right. Well, you've got a minute right here, Walter. You want to use it for a campaign ad?
Yes, definitely. So my name is Walter Chandler. I'm running for State Senate District 18 here in Tennessee, which includes Sumner County and Trousdale County. I'm running on the platform of education, making sure school vouchers don't get in here to our schools, running on gun safety, making sure you lock up your guns, running on expanding Medicaid access, and lastly, and most importantly, managing the growth that's happened out of Nashville, growing into Sumner County and Trousdale County, as opposed to my opponent who wrote the bill that gave them the developers the power to go build where they want, charge you more money for toll roads, and also even increase 911 calls. So vote for Walter Chandler today over the next 2 weeks, and we'll get it done.
All right, Walter Chandler. Well, thank you for giving us a bird's eye view of what's going on there in Tennessee, and good luck to you.
Thank you, Dominique. I hope you have a great day, a blessed day.
Absolutely, I will. And, you know, I always say this during election season. You call up during open phones, you're running for some. I'm going to give you a minute or two to talk about your campaign. We've got news, traffic, and sports, and then author, scholar, historian, Dr. Gerald Horn joins us. All that is coming up on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The Small Business Administration is out of money for its disaster loan program after Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The agency said Tuesday it's pausing new low-interest loan offers unless Congress allocates more funding. More than 90 people are still unaccounted for in western North Carolina as the cleanup from Helene continues. FEMA says it will not be deterred by misinformation and will continue to help those impacted by Helene. The USDA's Inspector General is planning an internal investigation into the agency's response to a listeria outbreak at a Boar's Head plant in Virginia. Production was shut down last month after at least 10 people died after eating products made at the plant. And Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers want to know the names of his accusers. His defense asked the judge last week to require the prosecution to turn over the identities of all of the alleged victims so Combs can defend himself effectively. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are back on the field tonight against the Mets in the National League Championship Series. Game 3 in the best-of-7 jumps off at 5 o'clock. The next 3 games are in New York. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said he is not moving Shohei Ohtani in the batting order to give him more chances to bat with runners on base. Roberts is keeping Ohtani in the leadoff position. Here's something to keep on your radar if Ohtani continues to struggle in the playoffs. Ohtani is 0 for 19 at the plate with the bases empty. He's 6 for 8 with men on base. Stay tuned on this situation. Interesting development in the Lakers preseason game Tuesday night against Golden State in Vegas. Most of the crowd of 16,000 stood up and cheered when Bronny James entered the game with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Bronny finished the game but had only 2 points. He was 1 for 5 and missed all 3 of his 3-point shots. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here's what happens when you advertise on KBLA Talk 1580.
3, to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but